Today on Mornings on the Hill, we're celebrating International Women's Day.
And the Syracuse women's ice hockey team is going to the big dance.
And Central New Yorkers were feeling lucky this weekend. All that plus your weather and orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill. Good morning, I'm Lauren Helmbrecht. Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Thomas Cook. Here's a look at some of the stories we'll be talking about today.
It's Women's History Month, and today is International Women's Day.
Our live reporter, Ari Horton, joins us in studio to share with us what this day means to faculty and students.
Yes, good morning, Thomas and Lauren. Today is International Women's Day, and for that, I wanted to speak with staff and students to explain what that day means to them. What is your favorite women's empowerment quote, or if you have like a favorite or one that just kind of stands out to you?
I don't know if it's a women's empowerment quote, but it's a quote that I have a little saying that I've had with me, and it's been on my computer on my desk since almost the beginning, and it's perseverance is everything.
My favorite empowerment quote is by Ali Ostrander. She's a professional runner, and she says, "Do yourself a favor now and set your future self up for success. Even if it seems scary or backwards or that voice is screaming at you not to, do it."
I don't know if I have a favorite quote that I can pull off the top of my head, but in practice, and especially in my professional life, I've found that if you want to get it done, get a woman.
And what does International Women's Day mean to you?
It means it's about time. It's good that we're recognizing everything, but we have so much more further to go as women that I'm really happy and proud and glad that we have such a thing as International Women's Day, because when I was younger, we didn't.
On one hand, it's great to have the recognition, but women do what they do all the time. We're always doing it, whether we get recognized or not, because we have to. Whether it's raising children, trying to keep things organized, trying to keep people calm so that things can get done. That's what women do.
This day means celebrating being a woman, and every day we should be celebrating. It shouldn't just be one day, but it's good to get that national recognition on the calendar.
Now, International Women's Day was first recognized by the United Nations in 1975. This day represents a day to rally for equality for all women. And Mornings on the Hill, I'm Ari Horton.
And to celebrate this momentous event, Syracuse is honoring the Syracuse is celebrating at the University Library by honoring Kate E. Stark, SU's first woman faculty member.
She was hired here in 1833. Stark taught vocal music in the College of Fine Arts and became an official professor in 1884. One Syracuse University team is making their way to the NCAA tournament later this week. Our Caitlin McCarthy is live on University Ave to tell us how Cuse made it to the big dance.
Thanks, Thomas. Now, Syracuse women's ice hockey is just going to their second NCAA tournament, and they're going to face off against the number 60 Quinnipiac and on Thursday night at 6 p.m. And if they win that game, they'll advance and take on the number 1 seed Ohio State Buckeyes on Saturday night. Back to you.
A popular off-campus apartment building was the scene of a robbery last night. Our Calvin Cristoforo joins us live in studio to give us all the details.
Good morning, guys. In a campus-wide email sent out last night, the Syracuse University Department of Public Safety detailed a robbery at the Aspen, an off-campus apartment building popular for SU students. The email details a male subject being approached in the parking lot as he left around 9:15 last night. The suspect reportedly showed a handgun and demanded money before fleeing on foot. Although there was no injuries reported, the robbery still has some Aspen residents shaken up.
Ready to go home. Heck, I didn't even go home. I stayed at a friend's place. He gave me a pair of shorts. I was in my suit, changed out of my suit, gave me a pair of shorts, and I slept on his couch.
Now, given the location of the building, the Syracuse Police Department now leads the investigation. So if you have any information regarding the robbery, you are urged to call SPD at 315-425-2222. And if you know anyone at all affected or you're affected by the incident, there are campus resources available to help. For Warnings on the Hill, I'm Calvin Cristoforo. Thomas, Lauren.
The number of COVID cases on campus are continuing to fluctuate, hovering right around 100 total.
Our Marcus Field is live in studio to break down the university's COVID-19 dashboard.
Thank you, Lauren and Thomas. After a bit of an increase in cases last week, we're starting to see that number go down within the SU community. There are currently 98 active cases on campus. That's 40 fewer cases than the last update on Friday. According to that most recent update, there are 35 new student cases and just 1 new employee case. The surveillance positivity rate sits at 0.9%. We'll get a new update on that percentage later today. If you'd like to take a look at the numbers yourself, check out the SU COVID-19 dashboard online. With spring break next week, we'll probably get a few more updates before everyone heads out. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Marcus Veal.
As we approach week 2 of Russia's attack on Ukraine, President Biden's sanctions have raised a financial war. The president has completely dislodged Russia's banking system, and U.S. officials are now asking for a ban on Russian oil. Both the U.S. sees this way to make Russia pull back. The EU relies heavily on Russia for energy, further impacting the global economy and sending already increasing gas prices skyrocketing. The impacting has been felt here in central New York, as gas prices are now above $4 a gallon. As Ukrainians begin to flee the country, Ben Walsh and Ryan McMahon say that the city of Syracuse is really willing to help these refugees.
Coming up here on Mornings on the Hill, college can be stressful, so Syracuse is helping students deal with the midterm blues. And what you can expect from your weather forecast after last night's windstorm left about 40,000 customers without power.
Welcome back to Mornings on the Hill. St. Patrick's Day is on March 17th, but Central New Yorkers are already celebrating.
Mornings on the Hill reporter Calvin Milliner tells us how Tip Hill was shamrockin' this weekend.
Have you ever seen St. Patrick's Day before St. Patrick's Day? Last Sunday, the spectacle of all spectacles took place, and everything green was involved. This year's Green Beer Sunday makes the first without Peter Coleman. A crowd covered in green was ready to celebrate his life in a tradition that was halted last year.
So Patty is the teacher for the Johnston School of Irish Dance, and my daughter dances for her school. And we dance as kids together for a different school. And I was here to see our photos are on the wall inside Coleman. Yep.
While some came for the notorious green beer.
Hey. What's up? Are you having fun? Are you having fun?
Dude, I'm having a great time, you know? We're all out here enjoying some live music. We had a great crowd out here tonight. Everybody's happy. It's not even close to St. Patrick's Day, but you know, even non-Irish people, I'm Scottish, not Irish at all, but you gotta come out here and represent. I live down the road. You just come here, it's a great time. They got good food, good music, great vibes. Green beer, which is so not a real thing, but hey, who doesn't like a little bit of nostalgia?
And if you missed out on last weekend's event, the Syracuse St. Patrick's Day Parade is this weekend. For Mornings on the Hill, Calvin Milliner.
And time to check your weather for today.
Miles Hood is live in studio to tell us about the latest batch of snow and what's expected for your spring break.
Thanks, y'all. First off, I'll move over here. First off, happy International Women's Day. And if you can't believe Q's can do all 4 seasons in a week, well, I tell Calvin, hold my green beer. Winter is not coming. It is still here. Now listen, we all woke up on Hoff this morning where the snow struck back. It's a mild 33 degrees right now. And I don't know about you, but it feels like 22. The wind is relatively calm today, traveling about 12 mph per hour. I grabbed that jacket if you haven't left your bed yet. Now, looking at the rest of the day, it'll shoot up to maybe 34 degrees, but like a lead against Miami, we can't hold those scorching temperatures. We'll fly down to 27 tonight under clear skies and head in tomorrow into the mid-20s. Now, taking a look at the rest of the week, snow is doing its best Elsa impersonation because it just won't let it go. We'll have a high of 35 tomorrow with a likelihood of flurries. Thursday, the sun's out, but the guns might be a little chilly. It'll only be in the mid-40s, and to start off the much-needed break, it'll hopefully be easy, but definitely breezy in the mid to low 30s. Now, if you're heading out of town, I can't give you the weather you want, but I can wish you a safe travels and a happy International Women's Day. Back to y'all.
So Miles just told us to expect some snow tomorrow, and assignments are due in the next couple days before spring break. Honestly, Thomas, it's no wonder that students are stressed out.
Yeah, and with the semester getting pushed back a week because of COVID, many students are having to take their midterms after spring break. Our reporter Nia Lucky tells us how the university is helping students de-stress.
Yes, thank you, Thomas and Lauren. What is now an empty Shine Student Center was once filled with Syracuse students ready to de-stress.
Say cheese. There were lots of smiles at Orange After Dark's midterm Stress Buster event. Syracuse students were eager to come out, enjoy the cafe-themed food, movies, games, and crafts, with the March 21st date quickly approaching. Jeffrey Mateo, Assistant Director from Office of Student Activities, wanted to create an environment where students could chill out.
So for this event, we stuck with a cafe themed. So we had a bunch of pastries, cakes, donuts, coffee, iced tea, fruit platters, just anything that would kind of resemble that cafe feeling. And we also wanted to make it feel inviting, not only with the food, but with the activities.
This semester's been hard, and so having an event like this is really nice.
As for the fan favorite,
obviously the street signs, there is a long line of those going on right now. I'm trying to get another street sign. We'll see if I can.
Even Otto had to peel
Have
off.
you had the vanilla or chocolate cake yet? Yes, delicious.
Yes, Mateo, Assistant Director from the Student Services Activity Board, says he's ready to put the fun back in Shine Center. Now, for me, I'm all about the fun, and I patiently waited in line, my turn for the sign. So, Nia Lucky, Mornings on the Hill.
We love that sign, Nia. Thanks so much for sharing. Coming up after the break, Caitlin McCarthy and Allison Turner will tell us how Syracuse men's basketball game went against Miami.
And what you can expect from your women's and hockey teams.
Good morning, everyone. Senior night and a large comeback turns to a solid win. Welcome back to sports. I'm Allison Turner. It was a big weekend in Carrier Dome filled with some highs and some lows. Let's break it all down. First up, Syracuse men's basketball versus Miami. It was the last game in the Carrier Dome, and the team honored their 7 seniors and graduate students to start out the afternoon. The Orange were left scoreless in the first 2 minutes, but then Buddy Boeheim knocks down a 3-pointer from the corner in true Buddy fashion. And there he is again, tying the game at 5 points. Syracuse quickly gains a lead over Miami, then Joe Girard adds 3 points from beyond the arc to increase the lead to 7. Syracuse is then up 13 points at the second half until Buddy Boeheim is left wide open and scores. He was the leading scorer of the night with 30 points. Then Barama Sidibe with the layup in his first starting game since November 2020. But then Charlie Moore gets the layup for Miami and decreased the Orange's lead to 5. In the final minutes, the game totally changed. Cameron McGusty knocked down a three-pointer, and then a missed free throw would have helped the Orange, but Miami caught it and threw it up and went into the lead. The Orange tried one last attempt, but Jimmy Boeheim misses, and Miami takes the cake. Head coach Jim Boeheim said the team played well, but cracked at the end.
Good against full court pressure. Not many teams press, but they're a pretty good pressure team. We handle it well for the whole game, really, but at the end.
Next up for the Orange, they hit the road for the ACC tournament to play Florida State on Wednesday. And now switching gears to women's lacrosse. Number 3 Syracuse hosted number 7 Duke inside Carrier Dome on Sunday. The Orange were down early in the game with a deficit as large as 7 points. But don't worry, that didn't last long. Syracuse picked up speed, then a sister-to-sister connection between Megan and Emma Tyrell put the Orange to 6 points. And then the third quarter was the Orange's time to shine as they cut Duke's lead down from 4 to 3 and then even to 2 when Megan Tyrell scored twice in 90 seconds. And Tyrell continues, she is truly on fire. She scores to tie the teams at 12. And then senior Megan Carney put the Orange in the lead at the start of the fourth quarter. And then more Tyrell family action increased their lead with Sam Swart scoring in the last 22 seconds to secure the win. And now we have some big ice hockey news. As Caitlin said, the women's ice hockey team are now CHA champions. And after an overtime win, our Caitlin McCarthy is live to discuss the team's chances at the upcoming NCAA tournament. Caitlin, what are Syracuse's chances of making the Frozen Four?
Yeah, Allison, slim chances for Syracuse right now. They're going to have to take on the number 6 seed in the tournament, Quinnipiac, and they've been on fire lately. And if they pull out the win with this one, they're going to have to face Ohio State, which is the number 1 team in the country, and their offense is the second best in the nation. Allison?
And then Caitlin, which player is going to make the biggest impact in the tournament?
Addie Monotny, she's been on fire, a hat trick in the win over RIT in the CHA championship, and she's going to be the leader. She's been a leader all season long as a senior, and she's going to need to have a big game against Quinnipiac on Thursday.
Be sure to tune in to the Syracuse Quinnipiac game on Thursday at 6 p.m. That's all for your sports update. Back to you, Lauren and Thomas.
Still to come here on Mornings on the Hill. You know we've been celebrating International Women's Day. Let's check in with the team to see what this iconic holiday means to us. Stay with us. That story and more just ahead. We're celebrating, as you could tell, the Mornings on the Hill team actually wore a lot of pink in honor of today's celebration.
Our Morgan Scott is live in studio to tell us about this year's theme for International Women's Day.
Yes, that's right. This year's theme for International Women's Day is Gender Equality for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Earlier today, we heard from our Ari Horton about the importance of Women's History Month. But now let's hear from some in the studio to see what this year's theme means to them.
I think it means a lot. Even you look at it the lens of sports, something I'm very interested in. There's more women in the industry than ever before. I think it's something great. I think it's something that should continue going forward. I think it's great not just for the entertainment industry, but the sports industry.
When I hear that, I specifically hear sustainable. So I also come from a lens of sport, and I think about the U.S. women's national team, who right now is working towards a class action lawsuit for equal pay. And in that lawsuit, they're talking about not only helping the team that's been working and playing and being underpaid for years, but also thinking about the future and who is next to come so that they can sustain this as a job and sustain this as a career. So I love the idea of fixing things now and thinking, how can we make things equal? But really the focus is, how can we continue to make things equal?
That means that there's clearly a lot more work that we have to do as a society to make sure that women are treated equally, especially in the workplace. We're still paid less. We are still treated less than what we deserve. So I think it's great that we've come so far, but there's still a lot more for us to go.
That we have to do a better job of treating everybody the same, especially on International Women's Day. I think it's important now more than ever that women have a more prominent role in every job, every media opportunity, because we're in the media business.
It means a lot, just pushing more women into all career industries, especially sports media for me personally, and just looking up to the people that paved the path for us women to later follow.
I mean, I think the more
representation that happens right now, the easier it is in the future. I mean, behind the scenes, you have filmmakers like Ava DuVernay and producers Viola Davis, who are laying the foundation for the next generation to come, not only just Black people, but females as well.
And with that, I say happy International Women's Day to all women watching today. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Morgan Scott.
This is going to do it for us on this Tuesday's edition on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Lauren Helbrecht. Follow us on social media. But before we go, Thomas, it's the last day of school, at least last day for us before spring break on Friday. What are you doing for spring break?
I'm actually heading home, heading back. Gonna be some cold weather, but you know, be nice to get a little break from school.
So I'm going to South Carolina for my first time. It's going to be warm, which I'm looking forward to. And then I'm going home to Spokane, Washington, which will be cold as well.
Cold. Awesome. Well, I'm Thomas Cook. Thanks for watching Orange Nation. We'll see you here Friday, live at 10 a.m. right here on OTN.